Most teenagers seem to know a lot more about technology than their parents.
Mhm.
Can parents be expected to monitor their teenagers' usage, and how?
Yeah. I mean, as if parenting teenagers wasn't hard enough, well, it just got harder. It is. I think it's a harder job right now to raise a happy, healthy teenager. I mean, it's all so new, right? The technology, social media, it's all happening and moving so fast. We haven't even had a chance to stop and take a breath and realize, like, is this okay? And so we're starting to now recognize we need to have control over this. We need to help our kids have limits and use it in a responsible and healthy way. So I do think parents need to be involved. And a great way to get involved and build a relationship with your teen at the same time is to ask your teenager to teach you. Say, like, I want to set up an Instagram account. Can you show me how? How do you do these filters on Snapchat? And then the conversation can become a little more intimate. Well, is anyone ever mean on social media to you, or how are your friends handling it? And then you're involved, and that is the key, because we know, just like when parents talk to their kids about drugs and alcohol, the risk of them using inappropriately goes down, right? You want your voice to be in your teenager's head, right? You want them to know that you're on this, you're aware of this, you're going to be checking, right? So same with social media and devices. You want them to know that you're involved, you're looking. Now, in terms of how much monitoring to do, it really depends on your teenager and your family and your situation, right? So if you have a kid that's using it pretty responsibly and there hasn't really been too much issues, then that's awesome, and I'm so happy for you. And you should just check every now and then. You should definitely, you have the right to have their passwords. You should, have access. So maybe every now and then you ask them to show you some recent posts, or you pick up their phone, you look at what their friends are texting about. But if you have a kid who's struggling, who's experiencing high anxiety, or experiencing some sadness or depression, or has been struggling with socially at school, maybe there's been some bullying, maybe they've been the bully, right? Whatever's going on, for those kids, parents really need to be even more involved. And let your kids know, this should not be a secret, right? You let them know, I am your parent, my job is to protect you and help guide you, so I am going to be looking at this, and here's how I want you to use your device and social media, and so I am going to check. And those parents need to check more frequently. When your kids do a good job and learn, then you can ease back. But there's no question parents need to be involved and need to understand how it works. So ask your kids and make sure you understand and you're involved in watching.
So we've all heard horror stories about predators online. What kind of conversation do I need to have with my teenager about that, and how serious a problem is it?
Yeah. I think just like with anything, as parents, we're always teaching our kids how to be safe. So whether it's look both ways before you cross the road, or when they learn to drive, to make sure, they're following the rules of the road, right? Same thing goes for being involved in any kind of online activity. Making sure you're having a conversation with your teenager that you don't want them engaging with strangers online, right? That you are comfortable with them engaging with their friends online, friends that right? And that telling them very specifically, don't ever give your real phone number or your real address to anyone online who's a stranger who you don't know, or even if you think you're becoming friends with them, there's no need to do that. I also always tell parents, if your teenager is developing a friendship with an online friend, and I've heard good stories, I've had stories of teenagers who have developed some nice friendships. I just tell parents, make sure you meet them, just like you would in person. Do a video chat. Get on and meet the teenager and maybe say a quick hi to the parent, and make sure that everyone's aware that they're developing this friendship. And if there are any specific limits that you want to set, times a day they're allowed to do it or whatnot, then I think it could be really healthy and it can work. But we want to make sure that we're having a conversation with our kids about being safe and protecting themselves. Sometimes it can feel like a false security because you're just in your room, in your cozy room, in your bed, on your laptop, and you join a chat room, right? And so we just have to get them thinking really realistically that there are strangers out there, and we don't want them interacting with them, period, the end.